Hello, my name is Sharon Drew and I'm from Smart Coaching and Consultancy. I'm here today to give you some ideas about how to set up a fine motor skills box for children who struggle with their manual dexterity. You don't need anything special for this at all, but it's quite good to start off with a useful little box. This is one that I quite like. It's a nice sort of size, and I also like the lid here on this one because we can play lots of games using the lid. I'll just pop that over there for now. Now the sort of thing that you need in the box can be anything. You can find this around the house, or you might even see these things in the supermarket or down the shops. Now one of the first activities that I quite like, and certainly the boys like, is my little game of finger skittles. These are some little weeny skittles that you can get like this, and you can set them up on the table with a nice ping pong ball. And then all the children have to do is flick the ball using the different fingers, so you can work with the left hand and the right hand and knock the skittles over. It's also quite a useful activity to help children with their counting skills as well. Another activity that the children like is this one, and again this is commercially available. It didn't cost very much at all, and it's called finger football. And what the children do is they put their fingers inside the little football boots and then work along the table in order to kick the ball, so they can go in our box as well. Now these things I found fairly recently from a rather large supermarket, and they're like little jumping frogs. So what you do is you press the frog and make them jump. So again, I like to encourage the children to use different fingers as they're trying to move the frog along, because then we're working on all the little muscles in the back of the hand that help with their dexterity. I also like to collect lots of tweezers. Now these sorts of tweezers are more commercially available, and perhaps you might see them in particular suppliers, but again I also like to pick up things that I might see in the shops. You could use eyebrow tweezers, or these are little tweezers that you might see in, say, the craft shop, for example. And I found these the other day, which was again in a large supermarket, and they're like little graspers, and I found them in the party favours department. So what I might do with the children is just have a selection of things that they can pick up and move from one place to another. I've just got some breakfast cereal here that the children can just practice. And again, the different types of tweezers and grabbers that you might use, practices using the fingers in all sorts of different ways. Let's pop those over to one side. Now, I'm sure you'll have had plenty of these in your day-to-day life, and it's just an empty drinks bottle. And what I do with the children is I might use different size marbles and different size drinks bottles or containers, and the children have to get their marbles in the jar. If I was going to make it a little bit more difficult, I might use one of my grabbers. Let's see if I can do this for you today. Oh, not very well. I have a very good fine motor control. To pick up my marble. No, that's not going to work. So we're going to have to try another one. No, that's not going to work. So which one will work? Let's try this one. And we can pick them up. Woo, with a bit of cheating. Pop them in. That makes the games much more fun and interesting to do. So it could be a nice little challenge that the children could do. You might just use some coins, for example, and I'm using quite small coins. They could be 5p's, 1p's. Obviously the bigger the coin, the easier they are to handle. And so a game that I might play with the children is we'll have all the coins facing up one direction, and then they have to turn the coins as quickly as they can. Get them to do it with their other hand, like this. Maybe do two hands together as quickly as they can. Or you could post some money into a money box as fast as they can. And of course that's also another nice activity that can help children with handling money and working on their money skills. Nip down to the garden shed or down to a DIY shop, and I collect lots of different size nuts and bolts. And what we do with the children is have to match all the right size nuts with the bolts and secure them as quickly as they can. So I've got all sorts of different sizes to help the children with their dexterity skills. Another game that I might play with the children is kind of like a feely game. And to make a little arch like this, just out of some card, I've got this one laminated, and the child has to put their hand through without peeping, and what you do then is you put an object into the palm of their hand, and they have to feel it like that without seeing what it is, and see if they can guess what the name of the object is. Another game, of course, is to use pegboards, and I've got some pegs laid out here. Different size pegs, again, work on different grasps. The bigger the pegs are, the easier they are to hold and use. And what I would do with the children here is that they have to match the pattern underneath, for example. And again, we've got some spacing in between, and this kind of patterning in this way is also useful for sort of reading skills, because we're helping with the children working from left to right, and also understanding that there are gaps in the sequence just as we have gaps in between words. Or I might get the children to copy a pattern underneath to see if they can do exactly the same as me. Now, some children might find the pegs quite difficult, but what you could use is use some golf tees and just take the ends off and use those to post. Again, they're much more easier to handle. Now, to make it fun and interesting, I always keep a little stopwatch in my fine motor box, because it's great actually to do things against the clock. And to see how the children are improving, I might make a little record card like this one. I've called this one the Finger Olympics, and I might write the names of the activities down the side. And because it's the Olympics, I've called it Heat 1, Heat 2, 3, 4, semi-finals and finals, so that over a period of time we can see if the children have actually made some improvement. Well, there's some games and activity ideas for you. If you'd like some other useful information on fine motor skills, please visit my website, which is smartcc.co.uk. And there's also this book, which I wrote and published by LDA, called Take 10. This is quite a useful book for using in the classroom, for example, that uses very low cost or no cost resources to help with fine motor skills.